June 1st, 2026, a day to remember in NFL history. My goodness. My goodness. Today, I don't know if anything could top today. I don't know. I really don't. But we here. And honestly, there's some sadness in today. There is some sadness in Patriot history, involving Patriot history. But guess what? By the end of today, happiness is now involved in Patriot history. So you know what? You know I'm here to talk about it. Welcome to another edition of What the Hell is Happening Sports. Your boy, the one and only Nero, and we are back with another one on a Monday night. You feel me, cuz? You feel me? I tell you, man, interesting day. Interesting day. Like I said, we suffered a tough loss here in New England. A guy that helped start up the Patriots as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, before this guy got to New England, the New England Patriots endured a lot of losing. Then this guy came and some winning occurred. Hell, they even got to their first Super Bowl with this guy, right? We'll talk about him. And then two massive trades happened in the NFL today, right? You guys should already know what definitely happened, but then we had a shocker to start off our day in the NFL. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But we also, and I wasn't going to touch on this too crazy, but honestly, I might as well. Somebody got signed. Somebody is returning to the team that helped jumpstart their career. But ultimately, that individual with that team gave us one of the greatest catches ever in NFL history. We're going to get to him. And then finally, we're going to talk about Jaylen Brown a little bit at the end. It's not going to be a crazy live, but Jaylen Brown obviously is in some trade rumors. There's a particular team that could want him, could reunite him with a former Celtics head coach. And there's two guys that could, who knows, somewhat be in play to be coming to Boston. One guy who there was a bunch of rumors about on this guy coming to the Celtics a few years ago. And then you have another guy that naturally had an okay season, but by the end of it, it was pretty underwhelming, especially when it got to the playoffs. So we'll talk about those aspects when it comes to Jaylen Brown. But first things first, man. First things first. Shout out to my guy, God's Reaper, in the chat. You already know the vibes. What's up, my guys? You feel me? Yeah. No. We'll get to that. Well, you see it. We'll get to it. So the first things first. NFL Hall of Famer, 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL champion, Raymond Berry. The first Patriots coach to bring a New England Patriot team to a Super Bowl in 1985. Passed away today. We got to give him his flowers. Clap it up for Mr. Raymond Berry. Appreciate everybody for tuning in so far. By the way, let's run this up. Like the video up. Subscribe to the channel. If you follow me on the Purple app, tune in as well. Say what's up on there. And tell your friends about the live. You already know the vibe. You feel me? But ultimately, Raymond Berry, he basically was the start, he started up what the Patriots are now known to be, right? Now, naturally, he took the 85 Patriots that had Andre Tippett, that had John Hanna, 2 Hall of Famers, Irving Fryer, former number 1 pick, Tony Eason, You also had Steve Grogan. You had guys like that on the team. Mike Haynes as well, Pro Bowl corner. And naturally, they didn't win it. They went up against the 85 Bears, and that defense was legit. One of the greatest defenses of all time. One of the greatest teams of all time. The 15-1 Chicago Bears, right? Walter Payton was on the team. Richard Dent. McMahon, the quarterback. Like, they had some guys on that team. They did. So, it was going to be a tough one to win. But it gave people hope that a team in Massachusetts, a football team, obviously the New England Patriots, could actually make a Super Bowl. And they did. Now, they weren't going to win it. They got BTA'd. They did. They got 50 dropped on them. But it was hope. It's like, all right, we finally seen it. Now, his tenure only lasted 5 years here in New England, or 5 or 6. And there was some winning involved, a good amount of winning. It helped change the culture. And naturally, when he left, things for a few years, wasn't that great, right? But it helped set the tone for Bill Parcells to come to the Pats. It did. It did. So we got to say rest in peace to Raymond Berry. We ultimately do. Ultimately do. This guy had his part in Patriot history. He did. And he also had some times with the Giants also, did win some Super Bowls as a coach with the Giants as well. But hey, for him to be in the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest Baltimore Colts ever, that says something too. He was a Hall of Famer before he even touched New England. So we got to give him his flowers, bro. So one more time, rest in peace to Mr. Raymond Berry. Now. This is where shit gets crunchy, guys. This is where shit ultimately gets crunchy. Like I said, there was 2 trades made today. And there was one particular signing. I'm going to start with the first trade. No, actually, no, not even. I'm going to start with the signing. I'm going to go based on how everything played out today, right? So we had the signing, we had the first trade of the day, and then we had the last trade of the day, right? And I tell you, like I said, nostalgia is brought back, but then a new era for a couple players begins in new cities, in new states. Feel me? First things first. Odell Beckham Jr., 3-time Pro Bowler Odell Beckham Jr., Super Bowl champion Odell Beckham Jr. is back with the New York Giants. Clap it up for OBJ. Now, this is a move that you like to see, right? You reunite with a franchise icon. Ultimately, at the end of his first run with the Giants, things didn't get worked out. OBJ made 3 straight Pro Bowls from 14 to 16, broke his ankle in 17, had a bounce back year in 18, but naturally, there was a lot of tension with the front office, some tension with Eli Manning. And by the 2019 offseason, they sent him packing to Cleveland, where, quote unquote, in his words, they sent him to Cleveland to die, right? Because Cleveland naturally was and somewhat still is a place where guys go and there's not as much success there. But his first one with the Giants, to me, and if I know for him, that was a legendary time. He had one of the greatest catches ever in NFL history. We all know the catch. I don't even have to play the video. And he's had some setbacks in his career, right? Like tearing his ACL twice, right? Before those ACL tears, breaking his ankle. He's not the same player that he once was. We know that. He doesn't have the speed on him like he used to. He's not the same receiver as he once was, but it's not like this guy can't play, right? He can still be an NFL caliber receiver, bro. Still can. He's not a burner. He's not going to run fly routes, but he can catch intermediate routes. He's a possession receiver. Make a little move here and there. But ultimately, this is what this Giants team needs. He reunites with Jim Harbaugh. Now Jim Harbaugh is his head coach, right? Bringing a guy like that helps set the tone for Malik Neighbors, Malachi Fields, right? Fucking, who's the other receiver? I'm blanking. Somebody else signed with them. Calvin Austin, right? Set the tone for those guys. And naturally, the Giants made a couple more signings today. They did sign Juju Smith-Schuster, that bitch-ass nigga. And they signed Braxton Berrios, 2 former Patriots, right? Ultimately, OBJ, when he left the first time around, he wanted to come to New England. It didn't work out. They sent him to Cleveland, right? But now he has a chance to redeem himself, be a part of a winning team. This team has a lot of young guys, right? But with Jim Harbaugh, there's a lot more hope for the Giants in this go time around. Jackson Dart's your quarterback, right? I named the receivers already. You got Cam Scatterboo as one of your lead runners, right? So, hey, you got to get right. You got to get right. I believe OBJ will help this team a lot this year, a whole lot, right? But I think it sets the tone for this Giants team that, hey, all right, they're in the NFC East. You got to worry about the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Cowboys. But there might not be as much winning yet in New York, but they'll give you some good games. They will. John Harbaugh is going to get this team right. It's going to be a process, but they're going to definitely win some more games than they did last year, I'll tell you that. And OBJ should catch at least 3 touchdowns. At least. I would say 5, but you don't know how it play out. But I will confidently say he's going to give you at least 3. At least. But I like the signing OBJ. Welcome home, my brother. Clap it up one more time for LSU's finest. Now. This is where shit gets really fucking crunchy. Brother. Myles Garrett, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. The all-time leading sacker in the season with 23 as of this past season, has been traded to the Los Angeles Rams. A stunner. A real stunner. A fucking stunner. Wow. I'm not going to lie. I know that the Browns reworked his contract, and it gave the telltale sign that he was going to get traded. But for him to go to the Rams, to go out to the Bay, to Hollywood, that right there, at least for him, that's the best thing that's could have ever happened to him. I tell you, that right there, it's boom, it's Super Bowl or bust for the Rams. It really is. Now, naturally, for a guy like Myles Garrett, you got to pay a hefty price. So going to the Rams will be Jared Verse, this upcoming year's first-round pick, next year's second-round pick, and a 2029 third-round pick. That right there is a Myles Garrett trade. Now, there could have been more picks. There probably could have been another first-round pick, no cap. Probably even you definitely could have added one more first-round pick, right? But honestly, I see both teams in this trade. For sure, the Rams won this trade. Obviously, you got Myles Garrett. But the Browns, for the most part, they're winners too. You get Jared Verse, a young edge rusher, a rising star as an edge rusher. He goes back home to Ohio. Now that's his team. That's his defense, right? In Cleveland. But now I feel as though that Jared Verse going to the AFC North, I think he's going to eat even more. I really do. I think he's going to fit well in that defense that Cleveland has. And naturally, that's really the only valuable player that is going to go in that trade. You're not going to trade Puka Nacua. You're not going to trade Devontae Adams, obviously. It had to be Jared Verse. Hell, actually, honestly, you would have probably gotten away with Byron Young. But if you're going to put Byron Young in that trade, you definitely would have had to put another first-round pick in there. No cap. You would have had to. Byron Young isn't going to bring the same impact as Myles Garrett would. I think Jared Verse would bring closer to that impact. Plus, he was a first-round pick 2 years ago. So it was only right. Like I said, it's Super Bowl or bust this year for the Rams. Myles Garrett is now on the team. You still have Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyren Williams. Trent McDuffie's now in that defense. Nathan Landman, Byron Young, Cam Kitchens, Cam Curl. It's Super Bowl or bust for the Rams. And honestly, right now, if I had to pick somebody to win the Super Bowl this year, nigga, I have to go with the Rams. I do. As much as I want to say I'm wearing the hat. You already know. I got the hat on. I got Tom Brady and Richard Seymour right behind me. Y'all see it, I know. But the Rams right now, with the team that they got and all the all-pros that they have, adding Myles Garrett really is a big difference. It's a real difference maker. But Myles Garrett added to that team really is like when Reggie White went to the Packers. And you know what I'm saying? And you see it. You saw what happened. Now, naturally, a lot of us wasn't alive. But you saw what happened when Reggie White went to the Packers, right? They got to a Super Bowl. They beat the Pats. They beat Bill Parcells' Patriots, right? But Reggie White, arguably, if not, he might be the greatest, he might be arguably the greatest defensive end ever, right? And I know you have Deacon Jones. I know you have Bruce Smith. You feel me? But this guy right here, right now, he's by far the best the best defensive player in the NFL, the best edge rusher in the NFL, landslide. Nigga already got 125 and a half career sacks, and he's only played 9 years. You feel me? This guy's a dog. So adding him to that team, hey, that's a real difference maker. That's a guy right there that should help you bring that title. You lost in the NFC Championship last year to the Seahawks, and now the Seahawks are the reigning champs, right? Feel me? He got to. So it's Super Bowl or bust. It's Super Bowl or bust. But overall, hey, Myles Garrett, you're now with a winning team. Now, what are you going to do to help that team? I'm telling you. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then I see this nigga in the chat. Here we go with this Fifi ass. Here we go with this Fifi ass nigga. Okay, here we go. Before I address him, shout out to Gods. God said, honestly, you could say OBJ was very impactful to the game because after his catch, everyone was trying to do what he did. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, everybody wanted to get that one-handed catch. But with his hit with the hairstyle, I know. I know. All TV. Shout out to All TV. We gotta get to him. We gotta clap it up for bro, my guy. You know, the founder, one of the founders of this channel. Honestly, he was the founder. Shout out to him, bro. Help me get right with this. As always, I gotta show him love. Gods also said, honestly, you would think it would be more first-round picks. Nah, that's a fact. And the Rams won the trade. The Rams won the trade with Garrett, but ultimately Cleveland is now set up because Cleveland, at least this year, you would think they weren't going to do a lot of winning. You know what I'm saying? You would think, right? But at the same time, just by how they played last year, there's better hope. All these rookies that came in, they did something. Carson Schwester did something. As much shit as niggas talk about Shador, right? At least he was able to win 3 games for the niggas, right? Myles Garrett's no longer on the team. Now, I'm talking before the trade, also adding before this trade happened. Myles Garrett had 23 sacks, right? Bingo. You also had Isaiah Bonds in the mix. Quinshawn Junkins is in the mix, excuse me. How do you call it? The kid from Tennessee, the other running back, he's in the mix, right? So it's like Raheem Sanders in the mix and the third running back. Hey, like they have guys, Harold Fannin too. Like they have guys that help build the foundation for this team, for their team, for the future, right? Now like I said, will there be a lot of winning this year? I'm not sure. Not sure yet because you got to see how everything plays out. But there's a lot more hope in Cleveland with the young guys, and you still got to pay Denzel Ward, right? And you have Deshaun Watson's contract. So with Deshaun Watson's bullshit-ass contract and Myles Garrett's bullshit-ass contract, you have to also think, all right, Myles Garrett brings the most value. Deshaun Watson right now, that nigga ain't got shit. Nigga's been ass. So ain't nobody going to trade for Deshaun Watson. You don't know what you're going to get with the nigga. You might as well trade for Myles Garrett because, one, you know the player already, and fuck it. If I want to win now, I have to get this guy, and that's what the Rams did. Feel me? That's what the Rams did. So, you feel me? But overall, great trade. Great trade. Getting back to the chat. Chad, he was not saying this earlier on the phone. Shit. Here we go with this nigga. Ay, Dios mío. Let's see. I know I'm seeing all the chat. So I'm going to read everything. He switched it up for I'm taking young over old any day. You're taking a new engine over old engine. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At least for the Browns, there's a lot more. They're in a better situation because at least they can build on the winning. The Rams got to win it now. Because if it doesn't happen, it's a failure. That's what I'm saying. It's Super Bowl or bust for these niggas. If they don't win this year, let me fix this. My fault. There you go. If the Rams don't win the Super Bowl this year, it's a failure of a season. It is. Failure. You have to actually try and win it this year, right? You have to. Because, Myles Garrett's going to be there a couple more years, because, but Matt Stafford, he's on his last leg. He's on his last leg. You feel me? You got to try to win it now. If they don't go, it's a failure, bro. It's a failure. You're talking young over old. You taking young over old. You said it yourself. No, I know. No. That's what I'm saying. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, in terms of this trade, both teams won the trade, right? It's a fair trade. But if you have to, who won it for the now are the Rams. Who won the trade for the future is the Browns. And Jared Verse, really, everybody's looking at this trade like, Jared Verse, you could have got more. Nigga, Jared Verse, for what he's done for his first couple years in the NFL, nigga, he's like that, and it's more promising that he can do a lot more in Cleveland, in his home state, right? Now that's a guy you could continue to build with. Like I said, you still got Carson Schweiziger. You got Denzel Ward in that defense, right? You have fucking Damn. What's the other corner's name? Campbell. You have Campbell on that defense through the other corner, right? Like, you have guys on this team, young guys especially, on that defense that you can build upon, right? And then on the offense, right? Shedeur, Quinshawn, the kid from Tennessee, right? The other running back. Like, you have guys on this team that are going to be able to help out, right? They won a few games last year. Last year, it was somewhat tough, right? But they showed a lot of potential. You just add this kid now, and this nigga, hey, he's going to help transform that defense, right? You lose Myles Garrett. Yes, you lose the best edge rusher in the NFL, but you gain a rising star in Wths, right? And if you look at that AFC North, right, because I spoke about this on the phone with this nigga, so I will say that. Look at all these other teams, right? You got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, and you got the Steelers, right? The Ravens, they have a good defense, yes, right? But what drives that team? Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson isn't healthy, that team ain't going nowhere. Look at the Bengals. What drives them is their offense, right? And they've picked up some guys to better their defense this year, especially with Dexter Lawrence. If Joe Burrow gets hurt, nigga, the Bengals ain't going nowhere. We've seen that the last couple years, right? You got the Steelers, right? They have a great defense. They have an okay offense. But if Aaron Rodgers, who's obviously still the quarterback, if Aaron Rodgers ain't playing up to par, nigga, they ain't going anywhere. So the Browns are going to have a chance because there's a good amount of frauds in the AFC North. There's a good amount of frauds. You feel me? I said that on the phone, right? I said that on the phone, right, E? My fault. My fault. All TV. I said that on the phone, right? I did. Shout out to E-Bin on. We call him E2. You already know the vibes. I did say it on the phone. There's a bunch of frauds in the AFC North. We know that. If the quarterbacks get hurt, a lot of them fucking teams ain't doing shit. So the Browns got a shot right now because they're young, and you can take wins from these teams. You can. You really can. You can win games. All they have to do, they got to make, when it comes to these games, they got to make that one play. But, hey, if everybody's fully healthy, quarterbacks, everybody in the AFC North, then the Browns, not to say they're going to struggle mightily, but it'll be a little bit tougher to win because, okay, all these teams have high power. But they can get into some of these situations where some of these teams aren't that great. They might fall. It could be a trap game. So they do have hope. They have a lot more hope. They do. With Myles Garrett on the team, yeah, they had hope, but you knew that the nigga didn't want to be there. The nigga want to win, and rightfully so. But he wants to win. So get a guy in Wths, young, that got the potential that got more of a potential to be something because he's already shown it. He's already a 2-time Pro Bowler. And let this nigga continue to grow as a player and grow on this team, this young team. Because he'll be a problem in the AFC North, I'll tell you that. You feel me? And the Rams are old. Yes, the Rams are old. We know that. They got Matt Stafford as a quarterback. One of the oldest niggas in the league. I'm not going to say the oldest because he still got that nigga Aaron Rodgers. But, yeah. Devontae Adams, a lot older. You know what I'm saying? Not to say he's not Devontae Adams when niggas was how do you call it? Fucking what was I gonna say? I'll pick up. Last thought before I pick up the phone real quick. Devontae Adams ain't young Devontae Adams no more. He's still valuable. He's still catching 10 touchdowns a season. He caught over 10 touchdowns last year. But it's an older team. But they got to win now. No bullshit. All right, got to call. Let me call E-Bin on real quick. After this, we will move on. Shout out to E-Bin on. Shout out to All TV. Clap it up for bro. At least he was in the chat talking. But it's an emergency, so let's see this. Yo.
Chat real quick.
What'd you say?
Me chat.
All right. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, yeah, no, I had to call. I had to talk to E real quick. Some, he had to tell me some shit real quick. Shout out to All TV, aka Mr. E. Let's get everybody back here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in already. You already know the vibes now. But yeah, overall, hey, the Rams won the trade for the now. Browns won it for the future. You feel me? The Browns did win it for the future. They got a lot more picks, right? A lot more picks, and they're going to continue. They're going to continue to build their team. So overall, hey, we got to clap it up. But hey, this is a shocking trade. One of the shockers, one of the bigger shockers in NFL history. No cap. And honestly, Rams did what they had to do. Myles Garrett, you are now a LA Ram. Clap it up for him, and now you got a shot to win the Super Bowl. Let's see. Clap it up for the bro. Now, shit got even more crunchy, cuz. Shit got even more crunchy. New England, this is for you. A.J. Brown is officially a New England Patriot. Today was June 1st. They said they was going to do it June 1st. And guess what? They got Jay Brown. Welcome home, my nigga. This is a man that has had 6 1,000-yard seasons in his 7-year career. He is a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's also a Super Bowl champion. He's also a guy that is a great athlete, as we know. He was drafted by the San Diego Padres in the MLB draft. And he's now in the New England Patriots. Now, another guy who was drafted in the MLB draft ended up becoming one of the greatest quarterbacks ever for this very franchise. That nigga's bobblehead is right behind me, right? So there's a little bit of, a similarity. Not on that par, but you got a guy that's a great athlete. You also got a guy that can help continue to build this culture that Mike Vrabel is setting the foundation on. All right? There's not as much to say. The Pats ended up giving up a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. Right? But for that cost, for a 29-year-old receiver, hey, I take it. Now, like God said, shout out to Gods. You do tend to worry about his knees, right? His legs. I think he'll pan out well here in New England. But even thinking about Myles Garrett, you got to worry about, hey, you just hope he don't get hurt. Now, you hope AJ don't get hurt. You don't. But I'm more confident in AJ staying healthy because at least here, especially what Deron Mayo has helped, with the weight room. Not as many people got hurt last year, but they did. You started seeing a little more injuries towards the end of the year, right? Hey, guys were able to stay healthy a lot more last year. You just hope that it continues with a guy like Brown. Gods also said he apparently had to get his knee drained twice the week they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I did hear that. So there are some knee issues. Now, naturally, Massachusetts, Boston especially, the city of Boston. You have great hospitals here, great people that, they can look at certain injuries. You also have certain doctors that these athletes go to for opinions on their injuries and whatnot. But I think, all right, bet. I got you, E. Say that. This is a guy right here. Yeah, like he did have an injury with the Titans some years back, right? Nothing crazy, but it's still something. And he does tend to have little injuries here and there. But if this guy can stay completely healthy, or at least 90% healthy here during his tenure as a New England Patriot, we know how special he has been in his NFL career. This guy could bring heights similar to what Randy Moss brought when he got here in 2007. And we do. We have some of the top hospitals here in Massachusetts, obviously, but in the country. We do. And him being back with Mike Vrabel is benefits to him. This is a guy that knows him well, that if he does get into some situations where, there's a little bit of temper flaring and whatnot, Mike Vrabel knows how to get a hold of him. He knows how to set him straight. That's what you need. That's what fucking, what's this nigga? What's it called? I'm blanking on bro's name on the Eagles. What's the Eagles coach name again? I'm blanking on his name. What up, Sports Tool? Shout out to Sports Tool. How you doing, buddy? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big day in NFL. You already know the vibes. Rams Super Bowl down. Now they got a shot. It's Super Bowl or bust for him. No bullshit. Appreciate you, bro. W stream. Yes, sir. Damn. I'm blanking on his name because the nigga's a bitch. Eagles coach. Hold on. Nick Sirianni. How the fuck I forget his name? That's how much this nigga's a bitch. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Nick Sirianni, but Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni couldn't handle fucking AJ Brown. He couldn't. Right? Now, a lot of the issues were in the locker room, right? It was in the locker room. It was with Jalen Hurts, yes. But I guarantee you when he gets here, there won't be as many issues. Now, it's far to say because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. But I'm more confident there's going to be less issues because Mike Vrabel knows how to set this nigga straight, right? You also have Kevin Byard on the team, his former teammate, right? Mike Brown, the DB, is his former teammate. Harold Landry's his former teammate. You got guys on this team that have been around A.J. Brown, that know him, right? That's what he needs, right? He got his brothers in Philly, but at the end of the day, time has run its course. He didn't want to be there anymore. Now he gets a fresh start in New England. He's going to be rocking number 1, right? He's not rocking number 11. I believe it's more for letting Julian Edelman keep his jersey. Not to say retired, but, Edelman gave him his blessing, but I think he wants to establish his own number here. Number 1 has been a number that, especially at least in New England the last few years, has been eh. You know what I'm saying? People who've rocked it haven't been great. But A.J. Brown changes that. A.J. Brown is going to do great in that number 1. I'm going to tell you that. A.J. Brown, welcome home. Welcome home. If only we still had Diggs just to take some attention off AJ so he can ball for real. Honestly, that's the thing. Diggs is still a free agent, but here's the thing. E. You got Romeo Doubs now, right? That should be wide receiver number 2. You got the young kid Kyle Williams, but you still have Mac Hollins, right? You have a good core right there. If they were to bring Diggs back, I'm not opposed because Diggs did well. And again, Diggs could take pressure off A.J. Brown just like Romeo Doubs can, Kyle Williams. But I feel as though, right, and with you saying that, If the Patriots want him back, they can get him back. They can. Now, how it would look, truthfully, I would believe, I would personally believe Diggs would probably be wide receiver 3 because I know they want Romeo Doubs to really be that guy to be the number 2. But even having Stephon Diggs as your number 3, let's say, nigga, you know how many catches Stephon Diggs could get as the number 3 receiver? Because everybody's going to be worried about AJ, and then you have niggas worried about Romeo. A whole lot more. That right there would be something. So if you have AJ, Romeo, Steph, Mac Hollins, Kyle Williams, right? Kayshon Boutt's still on the team. Kayshon Boutt's still on the team. But I believe Kayshon Boutte will end up getting traded. You just got rid of your 5th round pick for this upcoming year. I think Kayshon Boutte goes somewhere and they get that pick back. That's one. You have Pop Douglas. Pop Douglas could be moved as well, right? That's 2 receivers. I just named 5 of them, right? I named 5 if Diggs was on the team, if he was part of the rotation, right? Get rid of 2, and you still have Efton Chisholm. That's 6, right? And whoever you want to put on the practice squad or whatever. If they were to sign Diggs back, just know Kayshon Boutte definitely should be gone, but Pop Douglas should be gone as well, and you can get some value for them. You could. You feel me? Like, Diggs would still have a spot. And I tell you, if they can come to an agreement, I don't think Diggs is going to care for the money as much. He wants to win. He did well here last year. He set the tone for A.J. Brown coming in. Bring him back. A.J. Brown's life and even Romeo Doubs' life is a whole lot easier. No bullshit. I'm telling you. God said, yeah, I was going to say Edelman wouldn't have cared. No, facts, he wouldn't have. My worry is if we can sign Gonzo. Now, I think we'll be able to sign Gonzo, but I don't think he's holding out, but he does want his money. Rightfully so. He wants his bread. You feel me? He's also said that's why the big name wide receiver that came here didn't succeed because they had too much attention. No, literally. Yeah. And Steph succeeded here, don't get me wrong, but he could have succeeded a lot more if they had one more guy to really take that attention. Now they have AJ. They should bring him back. It'll be smart. He knows the system already. He wasn't a head case when he was here. Now, naturally, he had the situation off the field, we know, up the street in Dedham, right? Where I'm at. That shit's over with. The bitch lied, right? The bitch lied. That shit's over with. He can sign anywhere. But if he wants to be smart, right? It's like if he wants to go to Maryland, if he wants to go to Baltimore or the Commanders, right? To go home, I take it. I respect it. But if I were him, nigga, I'd come back home, bro. Come back to New England, guys. Telling you. He said the money is a big concern because AJ money goes up every year. Yeah, that's fact. Oh, maybe they could even try to rework his contract, AJ's contract, to sign Gonzo. They could. We'll see what's up, but I know Gonzo wants to be here, bro. And now he has a new teammate in A.J. Brown, right? Hey, I tell you, man, we'll go over the schedule again at some point. But yeah, I said the Celtics. The Pats schedule, hey, it's a lot harder this year compared to last year. But with a guy like this on your team now, hey, whoever you're playing, they got to worry about Drake May. You got to worry about Gonzo if he's out there, which he should be, on the defensive end, on the defensive side. But now you got to worry about A.J. Brown, my nigga. Shout out to Alvin, A.J. Brown. Hold on. What's his name? I want to get it right because I don't want to fuck it up. I ain't trying to fuck it up, my young nigga. I know his first name's Alvin. Juan. Whoa. I'm bugging. Nigga's name is Arthur. Arthur Juan Brown. Welcome home, my young nigga. Clap it up for him. I don't know why I got Alvin, But the nigga kind of look like an Alvin, nigga. No bullshit. Yo, bullshit. Now, quickly, before I get out of here, what we got to talk about real quick. Jay Beasley. He's been in some rumors. Some rumors that he might get traded, right? We know that. I want him to be on this team. To me, he's a Celtic for life. But if Brad Stevens has to make the call, right, he got to do what he got to do. It is what it is. There are 3 teams right now that are really interested in Jaylen Brown. The Atlanta Hawks, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Houston Rockets. Right? So enough on Jaylen Brown. I'm going to show you niggas a picture. I'm going to show you a couple pictures. Right? I know all TVs in the chat. No all TVs in the chat. E. If Jaylen Brown's traded and this guy comes here, what do you think? Because no bullshit, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing the Slim Reaper in a Celtic uniform. Oh, no bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit. Now, naturally, I know Kevin Durant's older, but that nigga's still that's still Kevin Durant. That's still second team All NBA Kevin Durant. Right? Wouldn't mind it, but then again, for the core of this team and, and by the way, when I'm saying this, I'm saying what people say about him, right? The attitude, the talking shit about teammates. Maybe you want to keep him away from this environment. I understand that. But in terms of the player he is on the court, that's a different story. Right? That's if Jaylen Brown gets traded. That's if. Right? That's if they really want to trade him. Right? But if truthfully, if you're going to trade Jaylen Brown, who should come back for this team, I wouldn't mind seeing an Alperen Sengun in a Celtic uniform. No bullshit. I wouldn't mind it. I really wouldn't mind it. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind him because at least here in Boston, I personally think that him with KD, it didn't work because KD, I know he's hard on his teammates. He is, right? But he should be. He's a Hall of Famer. He wants to win. I know his relationship with KD was He's a 2-time All-Star. What he brings to the table is similar to what Jokic brings on a nightly basis, but he's a little more athletic, right? Now, he's not Jokic, but he has Jokic-like tendencies. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Celtic uniform because I know in this system right here, in this environment, they'll be able to help establish his defense more, continue to make him into a defensive presence. But he can take the ball out of Jason Tatum's hands. He can facilitate Tatum, White, right? Hauser. I'm just giving the names as if Jaylen Brown was traded. I like this guy. I do. I've always liked Sengun. He had somewhat of a down year by the end of last year, but this is still a solid piece. He's still an all-star. He's still, he's a 2-time all-star. He's talented. I like him a lot. That's if you got to trade JB to get him, right? If Brad Stevens pulls that trigger. But I truthfully still believe that the Jays can win together. They already won together. They can continue winning together, bro. They can. You just have to add that missing piece. If you could somehow land Giannis with them, I know JB doesn't get along with Giannis, but I can guarantee you at least with them being on the same team, I think their relationship can get a lot better because at least they'll be able to really get to know each other more. Feel me? I still believe in JB as a Celtic. You saw what he did this past year. I don't have to repeat myself without Jason Tatum. Now, I know the production dipped a little bit when Tatum came back because now you have your running mate with you. But, nigga, y'all can still make it work, bro. Y'all are the Jays, man. Y'all are what make the Celtics the Celtics. Brad Stevens should be able to keep this guy. Truthfully. Bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit. Yeah, honestly, I'm glad God said that too. I'm glad God said that too. Because truthfully, a guy like that, and I'm not going to say the name yet, but you see it in the chat. You see it in the chat. I'd rather pull up his picture. That way everybody can see. Now, this man right here, this is a guy that I would add to this team. Trey Murphy, I would definitely add. He's a scorer, and he can play and he can play some defense. He could already play some defense. I feel like if you brought him here, his defense would elevate. But what would it mean? Maybe Derek White goes, right? Maybe he does go in terms of, matching up the contracts, right? Sam Hauser probably might be in play too. But Trey Murphy, I would like to see in a Celtics uniform as well. I would. I've also mentioned De'Aaron Fox, right? I have. But the Celtics are going to do something big this offseason. They will. If it's Trey Murphy, I will not oppose. I like Trey Murphy a lot. That nigga's a dog. This nigga right here is a dog. I ain't going to hold you, bro. I'm not going to hold you. Right. But, yeah. Because even God said, if you look at KD, if it was 10 years ago, of course you make that move. Right now, yeah, you could make it, but it might not work out. Not because of KD as the player. It's more so what KD might bring off the court. You feel me? If you want to really talk about that. That's if you really want to talk about that. But I like Trey Murphy a lot. I do. No bullshit. Like God said, I will give him up. I give him up. No bullshit. You have JB, you have Tatum. You can add Trey Murphy. You still have Peyton Pritchard. The big man, you have Kata as a big man. Don't get me wrong. You do. Right? That's a solid group right there. That is. But maybe you could you continue to add depth, whether it's depth pieces or somebody else. But overall, like I said, Brad Stevens is going to do something this offseason. He is. He's going to surprise a lot of people. I'm just waiting to see what exactly he does because it's about to get crunchy. No bullshit. But overall, let's see what happens. The NBA Finals begins Wednesday. Knicks are taking on the Spurs. Jalen Brunson, fucking Karl Anthony Towns versus Victor Wembanyama, and De'Aaron Fox. Right? Those two All-Stars versus their two All-Stars. And much more on both teams. That shit's about to get crunchy, my man. No bullshit. Oh, yeah, you are downgrading to go from JB to KD. You are. But that's the thing. Like, if the Celtics are going to trade Jaylen Brown, you're going to get you should be able to get a decent haul for him. Picks and a player included. But I tell you this, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are guys that are meant to be together. No, pause. You know what I mean? But those are guys that are going to continue to build this legacy for the Celtics. They can win another one. They can win one more. They can for sure. At least. They can at least win one more. They can. I believe in them. They've shown they can win one. They can do it again. You just gotta build around them again like you did 2 years ago. I promise you. Okay, no, if Kata's already smooth with his muscle already, but no, if he could add at least 5 pounds in muscle, even more, hell, he's nasty. He's nasty. Him in the paint, and with more coaching, bro, he's gonna be even more of a dog, bro. Exactly, and we do trust Brad Stevens, bro. We do trust Brad. I'm telling you. KD's a parasite. He destroys teams. It be like that. It do. The talent is there. We know the talent, but the off court, we know. I know. And for this environment right here, hey, you saw what it did to Kyrie. I know it'll make KD even miserable if shit don't go right. It will. So now, honestly, yeah, I feel you. I feel you guys. I feel you. But other than that, we're almost an hour in. Honestly, I might as well end it right now. But we talked about a whole lot. June 1st, 2026 will be a day to remember in NFL history. No cap. OBJ back to the Giants. Myles Garrett is now a Ram, and A.J. Brown is finally a Pat. What a day in the NFL. But overall, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, like the video up, subscribe to the red app. Show love and follow me on the purple app. Show love on TikTok as well. But this has been another edition of What the Hell's Happening Sports. Guys, it's your boy, the one and only Nero. We were back with another one. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Next live will probably be Thursday. We'll go talk about the game one of the finals and whatnot. But the next couple days, Bay State Media is going to be doing their thing. I'm going to be with them. You already know the vibes. You'll catch me on there. But yeah, man, I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. I love y'all. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Show love. Like I said one more time, like the video up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on the purple app. Do what I just said on the red app. You already know the vibes. I love y'all. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace, my niggas.